Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has broken out yesterday, or broke out yesterday, and has basically now fulfilled my minimum requirements for the next immediate move to the upside. Remember that I highlighted to you that I want the next move up to reach $174, which has now been reached. That was the 1.236 extension level here on the chart. And I have added a further microstructure. And I start to favor, but just looking at the microstructure and how it looks like, I start to favor the yellow count. So obviously we talked about both orange and yellow ones and that they will most likely move together to a large degree. And really the differences will be minor and both should move up further. And ideally we'd reach eventually $190. Can always go higher, further extensions possible. But let's get there first. Here on the smaller time frame, it suggests now that on this way to 190, the next milestone target is obviously reached, and we are going to talk about that. Okay, so let me just zoom out a bit, just to show you again, obviously this move, and I will take the alternative out now, because we had this alternative that this is just a high B wave. I'll take that out now. But my main thesis was, as you know, that on the 23rd of January, a larger degree fourth wave bottomed, and that a larger degree fifth wave started to unfold with a target of 190. And we're basically getting there. So we have two wave counts. If you're new, then let me take you through them. In both, however, we were expected to go a little higher. I think in the orange count, we could get one more higher low and one more higher high before completing this move. So just be aware of that. The yellow count, which I start to favor, is the wave 1, the wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, and the wave 5. So the wave 5 is pretty extended, but it looks more like a three-wave move that's unfolding here, which would be wave 5, which is an ABC structure. But that's just the academic side of it. I mean, it doesn't really change much in terms of upside targets or micro levels or anything. The orange count is just based on a different assumption. And on the orange count, we have an A, B, C structure. And the C wave is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So could get one more 4-5 pattern after completed. But then I have to say these diagonals, they can also extend, because diagonals, they move in corrective structures, a little bit subjective, you know, how they have to be, how they are counted and interpreted. So what I can say to you, however, that despite this subjectivity, we have successfully provided some Fibonacci levels or zones that could have been used for entries. So we had here an orange one, we had an orange one here. That was the most recent one and the price reacted to it. And now we have the next one. This is the one that I added for today's video. Why? Because from this low, which I now interpret as an AB, and now the C wave to the upside is unfolding. From this low, we have potentially, we are forming an impulse, and I consider, should be here, I consider this a 5-wave move in a C wave in wave 5 of the yellow count, which means that with the next high, I mean, as soon as wave C is complete, this overall wave 5 could be completed. And the wave 5 is then completing the move from the 23rd of January low. So 1.5 month uptrend, and we could get the next decent correction, which is pretty much in line with what Bitcoin is doing as well. Not you know, absolutely, but sort of. And if we zoom in a little bit further, you can see here that this was a 1-2 setup. Wave 3 is basically unfolding right now, but you can see that wave 3 is technically full. Could stretch a little higher, but you know, it's reached the $174 level, which is a resistance, and minimum expectations here are fulfilled. Now, if we take a look at Fibonacci extensions, this third wave, yeah, it's definitely reached an area where it could finish at any point. Also, even if I measure from here, yeah. So it's done what it needs to do. And also the third wave is a 5-wave move, as you can see there. So that means, okay, we don't have to come down now. And the wave 4, which is here, doesn't have to start. But we've already reached even extended targets for the third wave. But it reached my $174 level. Now, what I didn't know down here was, do we reach it in 5 waves? Or do we reach it in 3 waves, which would then mean another 4-5 and we extend higher? Seems like we could get another 4-5 pattern, even in the yellow count. So that means we need to be now cautious that a wave 4 pullback could occur. It's only a small one anyway. And then another wave 5 is expected. And as I would expect another move to the upside and further bullish price action as long as the $157 level is holding. A break below that level could indicate a more substantial top. Why? Because it would mean at least that the impulse here isn't unfolding as it should do, because the fourth wave should not break below the 50% FIB level. Now, that's not strictly speaking, it's not an invalidation point, but what I'd like to see is ideally, if we get a pullback from here, a reaction to this support zone between $157 and $165.95, and then a fifth wave to start from there. The ideal support is usually in a fourth wave, the 38.2 retracement level. And if we get one more high, then we could reach 183, 190, maybe even $200. But bear in mind, at the moment, there is no indication the third wave is topped, and it seems like it wants to reach a little higher. And the next upside level is directly also relevant for the third wave still, 183 and 190, and possibly 200. I mean, the third wave can always extend. So there is no, it's best is to assume, okay, we go higher as long as $157 are holding, because only a break below that level would cause me to reinterpret the chart structure, the microstructure, and we also have to move this support area higher with the price as the third wave climbs higher. Okay, so it's not a static support area. This is because the fourth wave support is calculated based on the length of the third wave. We have to adjust the measurement if the price climbs higher. Very important. And at the moment, there is no sign it's exhausted. Instead, it's moving, it's continuing to move. I mean, what you could do, but that's really babysitting of the chart. You know, you could add a trend line or something, but there is no, well, okay, we might have 3 touch points there, but how reliable is that? I don't know. Trend lines are very, very crude tools, okay? Fibonacci levels are much more precise in my opinion. So yeah, please be aware that it's not the most reliable tool. But bottom line is, I think we have some clear parameters to watch to the upside, to the downside. Further upside still expected, but we've basically now reached that area, that sort of target range that I wanted the price to reach, and that was communicated before. Yeah. So it's looking good. I hope you liked the update about Solana. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.